You found it. Your home for the best content on your favorite team, the Fighting Tigers of LSU. Do us a favor. Subscribe to the channel. Leave your comments below. And be sure to smash that like button. All right, Saturday morning, LSU had a full-scale practice out on the Ponderosa as they get closer to the football spring game, and they were very kind to invite the media to attend the entirety of the practice. So I was out there, got out there, let us in about 10 a.m. and went till about 12:30, so 2.5 hours. Got some sun, as you might be able to tell, and forgot the sunscreen. Don't be deceived. When it's 67 degrees outside and sunny, you can still get burned. But I figured I took a lot of notes, copious notes, and I figured let me run through some of this and kind of give you a sense of what I saw, what my takeaways were. So the way they structured is they had a team period, then they they had an individual period, went to a scrimmage, more individual, wrapped with a scrimmage. And the scrimmage was basically ones-on-ones, twos-on-twos, and so on. I could tell you, bore you with a lot of the individual period stuff, but it's a lot of hitting, tackling dummies and pushing sleds and catching balls against air, and there's just not a lot to say. The scrimmage portions, though, were interesting because you started to get a sense of, okay, who's running where and what units in particular maybe seem to be standing out. So let me just kind of run through, if I could, the results of the scrimmage and kind of the structure, and I'll tell you my takeaways. So the first scrimmage period that we saw, they went 5 plays of ones-on-ones, 5 plays of twos-on-twos, then back to 5 plays of ones-on-ones, and then the twos again. I thought, we all know what the starting offense is going to be at this point, at least as they're running it right now. Your starting offensive line is set. Nussmeier's the quarterback. Mason Taylor's your tight end. And your first 3 wide receivers are Kyron Lacey, Chris Hilton, and Aaron Anderson. So that's your first offense. It was interesting defensively to see what they were going to do, especially at the line of scrimmage. So your starters on the interior were Jacobian Guillory and Jalen Lee. At right end was Braden Swinson. At left end was Savion Jones. Of course, Greg Penn and Harold Perkins were your inside backers. Your starting corners, at right corner was Ashton Stamps. At left corner was true freshman P.J. Woodland. Now, during the 1 reps, they did rotate, and the next 2 up were Javen Toviano and J.K. Johnson. We've been waiting to see J.K. Johnson. Remember, the Ohio State transfer was injured in fall camp last year, missed the entire season. He did rotate in. He's wearing number 12 now. He was 10 last year. He's wearing number 12, and he did rotate in with the ones. And then your safeties were Jordan Gilbert and Sage Ryan. Worth noting, earlier in the practice, Sage Ryan went into the medical tent. He had a little ankle thing. I think they just taped him up, and he returned and practiced the rest of the way. So all good there. This was the sequence of plays for the starters. They threw a Nussmeier first play, rolls right, 15 yards to Kyron Lacey on the sideline. Boom. Second play, they run a screen to Xavion Thomas. That became a theme. They like Xavion Thomas in the screen game a lot. They threw a middle screen intended for Caleb Jackson. Harold Perkins with the pass breakup. Very nice coverage over the middle by Perkins. The next 2 plays, they went right up the gut. And this is where you could say, okay, should we be really excited about the offensive line or really worried about the defensive line? Because Josh Williams took a handoff up the middle and didn't get touched. Now, it was a thud, so they weren't tackling to the ground, but I'm telling you, nobody would have had a chance to tackle him until he got into the secondary. And then the next play, the 5th play, Caleb Jackson took a delayed handoff up the middle and didn't get touched until he was 8 yards downfield. I think this is maybe my first biggest takeaway. LSU's offensive line is awesome. That shouldn't come as any surprise. You've got 2 4-year starters at guard. You've got bookend tackles that are probably going to be first-round picks next year, according, they stay healthy and everything goes according to plan. And they love DJ Chester. As a matter of fact, after the scrimmage, Brian Kelly, do you have this when Brian Kelly talked about DJ Chester? Do you have that one? Please play this. Listen to Brian Kelly talking about what impressed him about DJ Chester.
What we were looking for at that position, and we knew that we were going to be inserting a younger player with veterans, was somebody that was mature. and handled himself in that manner. He is all business. He handles himself in a very professional manner. He takes care of business off the field. You know, if he's walking around here and he's interacting, you'd think he's a junior or senior. His demeanor is a lot different than a young player. And we needed to vet that out in the recruiting process, because if we were going to handle it that way or hand it over to him, we needed somebody. And that's what I look for in the center position.
That was awesome. The first team offensive line was great. Now, if you want a reason for optimism on the defensive side, it was what happened after that. Because with the 2s and the 3s, the defense won the day. Here was the five, in the first part of the scrimmage, the 5-play sequence that we saw with the 2s. A.J. Swan went with the 2s first, and in the next series, Ricky Collins went with the 2s. Here was your sequence. They run the ball, short gain, fumble a shotgun snap, another short run, a short draw, and then they ran it again for a short gain. The second defensive unit stacked up that offensive line. Now, you've got Deshaun Womack and Parrish Shand running with the 2s. In this sequence, Kimo Makanaioli was running with the 2s along with Sean Washington, the JUCO transfer. Your 2s, and the Weeks brothers were your linebackers. Your 2s on defense, the front 7, far outperformed your offense. That's reason to believe, okay, as you get further down the depth chart and as you look forward to next year, they're coming. In some of the individual drills, I know we're not going to talk a bunch about that, but Gabe Relaford had a huge win against Tyree Adams, who's the number 2 left tackle right now. Gabe Relaford's an early enrollee end. They got some good young talent there. That's a reason to be excited. When the 1s went back in, the big play was Nussmeier rolling to his right, hit Mason Taylor about 20 yards downfield.
Mason Taylor!
And then on the next play, rolled left and hit Kyron Lacey on the sideline. And that, I would say, aside from the line of scrimmage, my biggest takeaway from this weekend, from Saturday's scrimmage, is Kyron Lacey took over that practice. On the second team period that we got to watch, right, whenever they went into the scrimmage, when the 1s went out, this was the sequence of plays. On first down, and this is a reason for optimism here, Braden Swinson beat Emory Jones and sacked Nussmeier on first down. So they got 2nd and 17. By the way, the scrimmage was set up like you start at the 25, they got your chain gang, coaches aren't on the field, there's no clock, but refs are out there. I mean, it is like a scrimmage. First down, you get sacked, lose about 7 yards. It's 2nd and 17. They run a screen to Kyron Lacey. He gets the sack yardage back. It's 3rd and 10. Nussmeier throws to Kyron Lacey left side of the formation. It's low and away. Lacey goes down to a knee and away from his body, catches the ball at the sticks, first down. On first down, defense is offside. Nuss has a free play, takes a deep shot to Chris Hilton, incomplete. So it's 1st and 5. They run a shallow crosser to a C.J. Daniels, which was incomplete. 2nd and 5. Nussmeier looks left. Kyron Lacey high points a ball about 30 yards downfield in double coverage. The 2 defenders fall down. Lacey takes off all the way down about the 5-yard line. And then on 1st and goal from the 5, the C's part, Nussmeier runs right in for a touchdown. You overcame a sack on first down because of Kyron Lacey being a freak. It may be that your secondary isn't any good again, or it may be that guy is ready, like really ready, to be the next stud. And that was super impressive. But again, when the 2s went out there, and this time Ricky Collins was first up with the 2s, first play, Parrish Shand beats Bo Bordelong, sack. Second play on 2nd and 20, get about a 3-yard run with Caleb Jackson. It's 3rd and 17. They pressure Ricky Collins, incomplete pass over the middle. Your second defense was better than your second offense. Your starters on offense, your first team offense, is super impressive. So I think we all expect it, right? The offense, they're not going to be the best offense in college football again, like they were this past year. But they're still going to be really, really good. I mean, you could just see it. They ooze talent everywhere. The offensive line might be the best offensive line in football. You've got a 4th-year quarterback. You've got receiving talent for days. Like, you're going to be fine offensively. How much better can your defense get between now and September or Labor Day weekend and then carry throughout the season than they were a year ago? I'll say it a million more times before the start of the season. I don't need you to be a top 10 defense in the country. I just need you not to be the worst defense in program history. This offense is going to score 30 a game. They must score 35 a game. Can you not give up 40 in 3 games that really matter? That's going to be the onus for this defense. How much better can they get? But it was good to see out there, man. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.